How's it going, everybody? I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it took almost 4.5 years for this video to come out. If you have been around on the channel since the beginning, I started this review back when the game came out. I pre-ordered the game. I pre-ordered the Steelbook edition of Persona 5 Royal, the second it was announced. I started playing it over on our Twitch channel, and then I just stopped. I stopped playing the game, and I don't understand why going back and actually finishing this game. This is some of, if not the most fun that I've had with a JRPG in a very, very, very long time. Like I said, I've been at this for a while. So long, in fact, that Persona 3 Reload has come out, Persona 5 Tactica has come out, and Persona 5 Strikers has come out in the time that it took me to beat Persona 5 Royal. Now, this is my best friend's favorite game of all time. Let me rephrase that. I wouldn't be surprised if he considered it his favorite game of all time, but I just could never get behind 100+ hours to beat a JRPG when all I'm used to is Pokemon or other smaller bite-sized JRPGs like Digimon World, which is still a relatively long game, but it's not 110 hours. I think I actually ended up beating this in like 80, but that's neither here nor there. He was a very big proponent on me playing and beating this game. I was very adamant about like, oh dude, I don't have the time, I don't have this, I don't have that. I'm so mad that it took me this long to do it, because this was a phenomenal experience. If you're unfamiliar with Persona, or Persona 5 specifically, it is a game developed by Atlus based off of the Shin Megami Tensei series. Now, up until Persona 5, the original, Shin Megami Tensei Persona was the full name. I think it still technically is, but they've veered away from the Shin Megami Tensei namesake, even though some of the gameplay mechanics are the same. There are some references to Shin Megami Tensei and Persona, and some references to Persona and Shin Megami Tensei. The gist of it is, it's a visual novel JRPG lifestyle simulator. And by lifestyle simulator, I just mean you just have to be, you're just a high school kid. You have to pass tests, you've gotta work, you have to do a part-time job, you have to do a lot of things just to kind of exist. In Persona 5 Royal, and Persona 5, and Persona 4, and Persona 3. Those are the only ones I've played. God, I'm so sorry I've not played Persona 2 Innocent Hitler. At the very bare minimum, a JRPG, kind of akin to Pokemon. You catch Persona, you sign contracts with Persona, which you can use as Joker. You can use them as Pokemon attacks, more or less. You control the persona, and all of your party members have personas. And it's a lot of fun. I'm really thankful for Persona 4 onward for being able to control your party members. That's a video for if I ever get around to playing Persona 3 FES before I play Persona 3 Reload. I have it on the Xbox. I don't see myself playing it on the Xbox. I just got it because I just figured. That's it. Now, I sat down more often than not, fucking 10-hour sessions playing this game in the latter half of me playing the game. I played the first dungeon on the YouTube or on the Twitch channel, and I beat it off camera. If I remember correctly, I think I beat it off camera, but that was mainly, and I just stopped because I had just come off of original Persona 5 because I was playing it in college 6 months prior to Persona 5 Royal being announced. So I beat all of Kamoshida's Palace in Persona 5, and then immediately had to go back and beat Kamoshida's Palace in Persona 5 Royal, which, in terms of tediousy, Kamoshida's Palace it's not even on the fucking list. Space McDonald's, but that's for later in the video, because this is a long one. Strap the fuck in. I put it down and I didn't touch it. It sat on this shelf for 4 fucking years, because I played all the way through Kamoshida's Palace. I stopped playing Kamoshida's Palace in April of 2020 and did not pick up the game again until January of 2024, which is this year if you're watching it in this year, and if not, how's the future? Tell me, please. sitting back down and picking up the game again. I think the biggest reason that I picked it up is because I was on a PS5, and the PS5's controller is one of the best things ever. And it's just, I don't know why that is what drew me into beating the game, but I just love the controller, and I love the aspect of the Persona 5. I love the aspect of the PS5, being able to play PS4 games at 4K and all of that fun shit. Bailey was with me, my best friend who loves this game, was with me a good chunk of me playing this game, and he was very happy to watch me experience the game as it's progressing. I'll try not to get into spoilers, even though this is over 4 years old at this point, but there are things that happen in the story that he watched me experience for the first time, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And he just giggled like a little 5-year-old, because he's a 5-year-old. The characters of Persona 5 are some of my favorite characters in media, period. Most of them. Let me rephrase that. Most of the characters in Persona 5 are some of my favorite characters in media, period. Ryuji, I love him. He's my little baby boy. He's just a little guy. Makoto, my wife. I love her with all of my heart. Everybody else is just there. I mean, they exist. Except Haru. I can understand why people would enjoy her, but she's literally just there. It might also not help that I fucking hate her dad and her dad's entire palace, but that is what kept me going, even through the really monotonous ass palace, some of the monotonous ass palaces. The characters themselves are what kept me going playing through this game. If it weren't for a cast of characters that I enjoyed being around and dealing with for 100 hours, then I would not have played the game for the full 100 hours, which is very common. I mean, like, that's a downfall of a lot of JRPGs. It's just, you don't like the characters. Pokemon Sun and Moon, I don't give a shit about the characters. That's why I never played the game. But in Persona, I won't say you're forced to love the characters, but it's so easy to fall in love with this cast of they're just kids. They're just kids being kids, and there's nothing stopping them from being kids except stupid fucking adults. And me, totally still a kid and not a tax-paying, home-owning piece of shit. Love that about this game. The way that you progress in the story of Persona 5 is defeating the palaces within the hearts of the main antagonists of the game. You find really shitty adults, figure out what makes them shitty, and you use that to go into the metaverse, Mark Zuckerberg style. You go into their palace and you try and save them from being fucked up piece of shit adults. The first palace is Kamoshida. Kamoshida is he's just a pervert. So is Kawakami, but it's fine with Kawakami because Kawakami is a female and not a really perverted old man. Also, she's just hot. Kamoshida's fucking ugly. It's literally the flirting sexual harassment meme. That is their duality, because they both prey on children. I say children, 17-year-olds, fucking minors. But his whole thing was he was treating everybody like shit. Everybody in the school was being treated like shit, be it the guys. He was sexually harassing the girls. So you go in and make him right his wrongs, and he, admits to everything and gets in trouble for all of that. And you go through, and every single palace, a new party member gets added to your party. In the first palace, it was An. The main four. You've got Joker, Ryuji, Morgana, and An. Ryuji and Morgana are basically with you from the literal very beginning, and about halfway through, An joins your party as your fourth member. Then it goes on to, oh my god, how the fuck do you say?
Madarame.
Yusuke's owner's palace, owner. Yusuke's sensei's palace. I can't think of his fucking name to save the life of me, but he's the painter who stole paintings and is a paint thief. So you go in and try and figure out why he's being a paint thief. And Yusuke joins your party. I fucking love Yusuke. He's just so gay. Even though he doesn't mean to be. He's just a little gay autistic guy. And I feel it on a spiritual level. But like I said, every single palace gives you somebody and something to enjoy and look forward to. Except for fucking Haru's dad's palace. The Okumura Palace fucking sucks. I can talk about this for an entire 40-minute video. I fucking hate Space McDonald's. I've been warned about Space McDonald's every single time I went to go pick up Persona 5, be it the original or the Royal. The original, apparently, it was like significantly fucking worse, but Spencer warned me about fucking Okumura's Palace. Bailey warned me about Okumura's Palace. Random people that I talked to about Persona on the street warned me about Okumura's Palace. God, why is it so bad? But as you're going through the palaces and encountering all of the new people, there's also a secondary story going on at the same time that differentiates Royal from Persona 5, the original. And that is the introduction of two new characters, Dr. Maruki and Kasumi, the fucking redheaded gymnast that is on the cover and is just there. Their introductions to the story. Now, Kasumi is not, I mean, she's there, but she's not like really there until the third semester, which is the introduction of the actual new Royal stuff. But Dr. Maruki is with you throughout the entire game because he is your school therapist and school counselor. So up until the second to last palace of the game, I want to say, let me rephrase it. Up until the second to last palace of original base game Persona 5, Dr. Maruki is there and you speak with him and you talk with him about a bunch of shit. Genuinely, I think that Maruki is one of, if not the best characters in video games. I fell in love with Maruki almost immediately. Probably did not help that Billy Kometz was the voice of Dr. Maruki. Rest in peace. Billy Kometz is one of the best voice actors of our generation and is what propelled me to start doing voiceover because his performance is in almost everything that he is in. They were phenomenal. And this game would not have been anywhere near the same without his involvement and without his drive and passion as Dr. Maruki. He being one of the newest characters in the game and being the person that you talk to 99% of the time while you're in the game when it's not Ryuji, Yusuke, Futaba, An, Makoto, like the main 6 or 7. How many fucking party members are there? Counting Akechi 7, I think. Don't quote me on that. He is who you talk to, or his confidant is the most important confidant, I think, outside of the base game, out of all of them, because you just get so much shit, which leads us into confidants, I guess, which are social links or, social links, that's really the best way to put it because not many JRPGs really do them anymore other than Persona. It's basically the more you hang out with somebody, the more benefits that you gain as a character. So with the main cast and crew, the more you hang out with them, the less SP they use, the more that they can just help you do little things throughout, like Ryuji helping you just grind in mementos because once you hit confidant level 7, you can literally just drive through all of the shadows as the Morgana bus, which is the funniest fucking thing in the world. Or once you get to the certain level where you can do the follow-up, if you don't kill an enemy, you can do a follow-up and crit them and then all-out attack them and then finish the enemy off. Maruki's confidant is so beneficial because it makes the game so much easier. Because not only do you get a chance to regen HP and SP every turn, you also get detox, which if you get a status ailment or if you get, if something fucked up happens to you, if you get paralyzed or shocked or put to sleep or whatever, you can just, it'll just automatically proc and you'll just immediately get it. You can just completely heal of any of your status ailments. And that makes certain fights so much easier because those certain fights just sit there and spam and spam and spam the exact same fucking attack and status ailment. On top of his confidant being amazing, phenomenal, the character arc that he has by the end of the game is one of it's what makes Persona 5 Royal so much better than Persona 5. Because Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal, up until the final palace of Persona 5, are more or less the exact same, with the little things like the jazz club letting you just beef up somebody's stats every night. Just go to the jazz club. I recommend anybody do that. Bailey started telling me about that like halfway through the game. I took Makoto there every single fucking night and she became insane. Bailey maxed out on with by like the sixth palace. She was at like 9999999 everything. And I was like, brother, you need help. He knows, but he's not gonna get it. The interactions with Dr. Maruki throughout the beginning of the game and especially the ending of the game are, I mean, like, Persona 5, from what from playing it through Royal, is easily top 10 JRPGs of all time. Persona 5 Royal is top 3 without a doubt, just because of everything that you go through with Kasumi, Maruki, and I said no spoilers, so I can't talk about it. If you want spoilers about Persona 5 Royal, go look it up, because I genuinely believe that with what happens with Maruki, with Kasumi, with the other character that I want to name that I cannot name, the royal aspect of Persona 5 Royal genuinely does make it a top 3 JRPGs of all time. I won't say top 3 games of all time just because I'm biased against certain things, but in terms of JRPGs, it's a very easy contender for top 3. I don't think there's much left for me to talk about. I mean, I talked about the beautiful characters, the amazing palaces. Something I didn't talk about is the music, but even then, I mean, like, Persona music in general, all the way, like, at least since Persona 3, because again, that's the Persona that most people, if you talk to somebody about Persona, they're only going to talk about 3, 4, and 5, because 1 and 2 are very not good. I haven't played them. I can't make judgment on them. They're very unpolished compared to 3, 4, and 5. And even then, 3 is also very unpolished. That's why they made FES and Portable and Reload. 4 is very unpolished. That's why they made 4 Golden. And 5, I wouldn't say was unpolished. It was just rushed, which they fixed in Persona 5 Royal. Persona music is amazing. I feel so bad. Shoji Meguro. I couldn't remember his name. Then I remembered I did an entire project on Shoji Meguro when I was in school for music production. We had to do like composer projects, and I talked about him ad nauseum because every single song in this game is a banger. That is a great place to wrap up this video, talking about how great Persona 5 as a game is. Persona 5 Royal, excuse me. If you do want a more in-depth, deep review, full, like, hour to 3 hour long video essay, be sure to leave it in the comments. If you guys want that, I will 100% fucking hop in the booth and I will record an entire monologue, a 3-hour monologue about this game, because I have that much to talk about. But there are things about Persona 5 Royal that I don't want to spoil. Even though it's a four-year-old game, I don't want to do it, even though if you're watching this review of Persona 5, you've probably already played or watched somebody play Persona 5 Royal. There's the slim people that still have not, that this was just their introduction to it, and they just wanted to hear some weird bearded fucking weeaboo talk about Persona 5 for 30 minutes. If you do, be sure to leave it in the comment section below and just let me know, hey, do it. We will watch it, because it'd be fun. With all that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, all that's down here. And until next time, I think there's a dread that needs to be burned.